Assalamu alaikum, dear students of Akis Addin Medical College Hospital. I am Dr. Faisal Abidin, Resident Surgeon, Department of ENT. Today's discussion topics is tonsillitis. It is very much important topic nowadays of ENT subject. Listen to me. Welcome to all the students, including fifth year students. Today's class is very much important. What is tonsil? At first I discuss it. Tonsil, the lymphoid tissue, but the main tonsil is the palatine tonsil, or subepithelial lymphoid collection situated in between the facial pillars. Beside them, other tonsil should be seen at the pharynx, nasopharynx. So the main tonsil is the palatine tonsil. This tonsil helps in the protecting the respiratory and alimentary tract from the virus bacteria invasion, and thus prone to frequent attack of the infection. Tonsillitis, three types: acute tonsillitis, recurrent tonsillitis, and chronic tonsillitis. Especially I discussed here the acute tonsillitis. Acute tonsillitis is mainly a disease of childhood, but is also frequently seen in the adult. Today's the topics under part to part discussion here. The etiology of acute tonsillitis or posology. It may occur as a primary infection of the tonsil itself, or may secondary occurs as a result of the infection of upper respiratory tract infection. Common causative organism, bacteria, both bacteria and virus is the common organism of the acute tonsillitis. The bacteria, common bacteria, Streptococcus aureus, Staphylococcus, Hemolytis streptococcus, and Pneumococcus. Other than the viruses responsible here is Epstein-Barr virus, rhinovirus, hepatitis A virus, and HIV virus is also responsible for acute tonsillitis. There are three predisposing factors are responsible for this tonsillitis. Number one is poor oral hygiene, number two poor nutrition, and the congested surroundings, and important predisposing factor of the acute tonsillitis. Dear viewers, nowadays the very much important topics: pathology of acute tonsillitis. The process of inflammation originating within the tonsil is accompanied by hyperemia and edema, with conversion of the lymphoid follicles into small abscesses which discharge into crepes. When tonsils are inflamed as a result of generalized infection of the oropharyngeal mucosa, the condition is termed catarrhal tonsillitis. When the inflammatory exudate collects in the tonsillar crepes, this presents as multiple white spot on an inflamed tonsillar surface, giving rise to clinical of follicular tonsillitis. But sometimes the exudation from crepes may encossate to form a membrane over the surface of the tonsil. This type of tonsillitis is called the membranous tonsillitis. When the white whole tonsil is uniformly congested and swollen, it is called the acute parenchymatous tonsillitis. So different types of different types of tonsillitis here mentioned. Number 1, catheteral tonsillitis. Number 2, parenchymatous tonsillitis. Number 3, the membranous tonsillitis. It is the pathological classification of the tonsillitis. Dear viewers and dear students, what are the clinical features of the tonsillitis? Now, clinical presentation with acute tonsillitis from a patient. The patient presents the discomfort in the throat, difficulty in the swallowing, including sore throat, difficulty while swallowing, scratchy sound voice, bad breath, fever, rigors, chills, earache and headache. And generalized symptoms is the malaise, anorexia, fever. On examination, a patient is febrile and has tachycardia, tonsil appears swollen, congested and exudate in crepes. There may be edema of the uvula and subplate. The jugulo-hyoid lymph node is enlarged and swollen. So, all of these the clinical presentation of acute tonsillitis, and diagnosis mainly based on the clinical presentation. Treatment of acute tonsillitis. At first, we should manage the general condition of the patient. This is called the general management, including bed rest and appropriate fluid, that means plenty of fluid intake. Analgesics to relieve the pain and fever. Antibiotics are prescribed according to the cultural sensitivity of the throat report. However, penicillin is the choice of drugs. Other than the resistance cases, we should use ampicillin or erythromycin should be needed in resistance cases. Dear viewers, dear students, what are the problem if there is no treatment of tonsillitis? That is called the complication of acute tonsillitis. Today's the very most important neglected cases, we should common complication of acute tonsillitis. Number 1 complication of the acute tonsillitis is acute tonsillitis converted into chronic tonsillitis. Repeated attack of acute tonsillitis result in chronic inflammatory changes in the tonsil, that is called chronic tonsillitis. Number 2, peritonsillar abscess, spread of infection from the tonsil to the peritonsillar tissue resulting in the development of the abscess between the tonsillar capsule and the tonsillar bed. This is called the peritonsillar abscess. Parapharyngeal abscess. Number 3, acute otitis media. The very most important complication is the acute otitis media. Infection from the tonsil may extend to the Eustachian tube and result in acute infection of the middle ear, that is called acute otitis media. And other than the 5 complication is the acute nephritis, rheumatic fever, are the other complication of the Streptococcus tonsillitis. Dear viewers and student, now we should discuss here the chronic tonsillitis. Chronic inflammatory changes in the tonsil are usually the result of recurrent acute infection of the treated inadequate treatment of acute tonsillitis. The recurrent attack, it is converted in the chronic tonsillitis. Recurrent infection lead to development of the minute abscess within the lymphoid follicles. Minute abscess in the lymphoid follicles. Recurrent attack of the tonsil develop into the minute abscess into the follicle. This become walled off by fibrous tissue and surrounded by inflammatory cells. The most common and the most important cause of recurrent infection of the tonsil is persistent or recurrent infection of the nose. So, here is the important points. The nose is the predisposing factor for chronic tonsillitis. Nose and paranasal sinuses. Infected nose and paranasal sinuses lead to post-nasal discharge, which then infect the tonsil as well as. So, clinical feature of chronic tonsillitis: discomfort in the throat, recurrent attack of the sore throat, unpleasant taste, bad smell in the mouth, and sometimes difficulty in swallowing and change in the voice. On examination of chronic tonsillitis, the tonsil may atrophied and hypertrophic, protruding out of the pilars. Pillars is protruding into the outside and diffusely congested. On examination of the tonsils, diffuse exhausted. Mouth of grapes appear open, from which epithelial debris may be squeezed on pressure. Treatment of chronic tonsillitis as described before. Treatment of nose and paranasal sinuses is important to control the chronic tonsillitis by antibiotic coverage, nasal decongestant, mucolytics, mucokinetics, antihistamine. Of the treatment of the nose and paranasal sinuses, as well as surgical management of nose like septoplasty, bilateral antral wash and polypectomy if needed. Dear viewers, now the discussion point is the surgery. If the above treatment is failed, the patient continues to be recurrent attack of tonsillitis, surgical removal of the tonsil, that means palatine tonsil, might be needed. So, the surgical treatment of tonsil is called the tonsillectomy. Now, what is the indication of tonsillectomy? It is very much important. Indication of the tonsillectomy. Indication may be divided into 2 points: absolute indication and relative indication. Absolute indication, there are 5 topics are absolute indication, 5 indication of absolute tonsillectomy. Number 1, hypertrophied tonsil, which is causing obstructive symptoms like obstructive sleep apnea, the most on indication of tonsillectomy. Number 2, suspicious malignancy. If there is suspicion of malignancy, then we should advise to tonsillectomy. Number 3, more than one attack of peritonsillar abscess. Number 3, more than one attack of peritonsillar abscess is also indication for absolute indication of tonsillectomy. Number 4, tonsillitis resulting in febrile convulsion. Number 4, persistent and recurrent tonsillar hemorrhage is the 5 number of indication of absolute tonsillectomy. Dear viewers, now the relative indication of tonsillectomy. Relative indication includes recurrent acute tonsillar infection, recurrent acute tonsillar infection, cases with chronic enlargement of regional lymph node, cases with chronic enlargement of regional lymph node. Number 3, when tonsillar infection is producing secondary effect in other organ. Number 4, carries of diphtheria. Eating and swallowing difficulties, failure to thrive is also relative indication of the tonsillectomy, and halitosis is the last indication of the relative tonsillectomy. Dear student, now we should discuss the contraindication of tonsillectomy. This is very much important, the contraindication of tonsillectomy. Epidemic of poliomyelitis. Number 1, here is the contraindication of tonsillectomy. Bleeding disorder like leukemia, coagulation disorder is the contraindication of tonsillectomy. Number 3, uncontrolled systemic disease, diabetes mellitus, ischemic heart disease, etc. Contraindication number 4, during an immediate attack of infection. Number 5, during the menstruation and pregnancy. Dear viewers, this is the summarized class of tonsillitis. Today's class, the end of the day. Thank you all. Next class will be held on acute pharyngitis. Thank you.